everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see, my room is a mess, a big mess, but hey, you guys are going to have to work with me on this one today because I do want to talk about something that's pretty cool that's been going on Netflix. So no trailer reaction today. I just want to do a mini spoiler brief discussion about Netflix, its recent hit success, a new Netflix series which is on Netflix, right? Streaming on Netflix. And for anime fans, I think y'all know what it is. It is the new Netflix series based off the classic manga turned anime One Piece. So yeah, congrats first of all to the creator of One Piece, Mr. Oda. I hope I'm not butchering his name. I'm only gonna call him by his last name because I don't want to mess it up. But if you guys are aware of who the creator is of One Piece, if you know how to pronounce his name, please, let me know down in the comments below. But I just want to say quick congrats to him because he is the creator of this idea. He's the one who started the whole thing. He started the manga back in the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken, and then it went on to become an anime series in the late 2000s. And now look where we are, 2023. It's a hit live action series on Netflix. So first of all, congrats to him for seeing his project, his idea, his dream come to life, like literally come to life in live action format. And of course, congrats to the cast and crew who worked on One Piece. You guys did a really great job bringing these characters and storytelling to life, and with a lot of adventure, action, humor, and some heartfelt moments as well. So really good on your guys' part. And of course, congrats to Netflix for another big success. Yeah, because I mean, we want this show. I'm pretty sure the fans, you hope that this show is great, so that way they could continue on with the story and renew it for future seasons to come. So here's hoping. I did hear breaking news that a season 2 is confirmed. Even the creator of One Piece, Mr. Oda, oh my gosh, I don't want to butcher his first name, but you know who I'm referring to, Oda. He confirmed on his social media that One Piece season 2 is a go. So woohoo! Can't wait for that. Now here's the thing about One Piece. Before Netflix even brought out the live action, I never read any of the manga. I never watched the anime, but I saw characters like I saw pictures of the characters here and there, say at anime stores in the mall or on stickers and whatnot. So I recognized the characters' faces, but I had no clue as to what the story was about. I had no idea it had anything to do with pirates. Nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about this show. So I was aware early this year actually that Netflix, alongside with Avatar: The Last Airbender, were bringing these cartoon/anime series to life in live action format. And of course, with all live action remakes, you know how the internet is. There's always a bit of backlash, a bit of criticism because people are skeptical, which I understand. You hate to see your favorite childhood memory that gives you nostalgia even to this day be ruined by a big greedy Hollywood company. I completely get that. But here's the thing, with some of these live action remakes, whether it's Disney who's making them or even Netflix or whoever else in Hollywood, they can be hit or miss. Some of them are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. I do happen to enjoy some of them, but some of them can be misses. I'm not I'm not gonna lie. Some of them I like and some of them I don't like. So, for example, like say when it comes to Disney, I was not a huge fan with Beauty and the Beast. I was not a huge fan with Mulan or Lion King in their live action formats. I thought they were kind of mediocre. But I did enjoy, they're not perfect, but I did have a fun time with, say, this year's Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Cinderella, The Jungle Book, even Cruella. I thought those were really fun. So, again, they could be hits or misses. And the same goes here with these anime turn into live action adaptations. But in recent years, most of the anime turn into live action adaptations have been a huge miss, if not a huge misfire. There's so many examples none of these anime turned to live action uh, formats have succeeded at all. I mean, we have Netflix even themselves tried to do Death Note, if I'm not mistaken, as well as Cowboy Bebop. And again, I never saw the anime, never read the manga. I have no idea what those stories are about. However, when you're on social media, you are kind of influenced. I'm not gonna lie. You are kind of influenced by word of mouth. You are influenced by people's reviews, and the reviews for both of those shows were not great. So because those shows, Death Note and Cowboy Bebop, were getting such negative reception from critics and fans alike. So it's not just one side; it was from both sides, both critics and fans. It did not encourage me to watch these shows on Netflix. So I figured, what's the point, right? Why waste my time? And then, of course, you have other movies that were not done by Netflix, but you have other anime turned to live action adaptations, such as Dragon Ball Z and Ghost in the Shell, which I have to say were huge misfires, especially when you considered the whole whitewashing thing. A lot of controversy surrounding that, because most of these anime characters, since they do hail from Japan, you would think the leads would be of Asian descent, if more specifically Japanese descent. So there was a whole bunch of controversy regarding that. So yeah, a lot of anime turned to live action adaptations have not been great at all. Until Netflix dropped the ball this year on One Piece, which, like I said, if you're on social media, sometimes word of mouth can influence you. And the reception for One Piece, the live action series, has been getting rave reviews from both critics, audiences, and especially the fans alike. It is a lot of fun. Again, like I said earlier, I had no idea what this story was about. I heard of it here and there, but I never watched the anime. I never read the manga. I just probably saw pictures of the characters, particularly that of Monkey D. Luffy with his hat, here and there at a shopping center at the mall. So that's all I knew. I knew nothing else. However, of course, when Netflix, this summer, I know they had their event in Brazil where they were promoting One Piece and Avatar Last Airbender. um, of course, Netflix is promoting, they're hyping it up, and it did get me interested. Like, okay, I don't know what this show's about, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued, and I was mostly intrigued because of the cast, the actors that were picked for these characters. Because when I saw the picture of who was going to play these characters, I was kind of surprised to see that it was a diverse cast. Because, like I said, when you think of anime, it's from Japan, so you would probably think mostly a larger Asian demographic, right, in these stories of anime. But come to find out, even the creator of One Piece, Oda himself, has said that the characters, the five main characters of One Piece, are actually supposed to be a diverse group of people. So it was interesting to see that. You have Monkey D. Luffy's character, who, if in the real world, if he were in the real world, would be Brazilian. So he's technically speaking Latino, and he is played by a Latino actor, specifically not a Brazilian actor, but he is played by a Latino actor, which is Mexican actor Iñaki Godoy. So it's cool to see a Latino actor take the lead in this story. That's something. I'm just gonna be honest. That's interesting representation, in my opinion. And of course, I have read that there was some criticism because they thought that Monkey D. Luffy was supposed to be Asian. But here's the thing: Oda himself did say that the character is of Latino. If he were to be in the real world, would be of Latino heritage. It would have been cool though. I'm not gonna lie. It would have been cool though to see an Asian Latino in the role of Monkey D. Luffy. There are Asians in Latin America. My father comes from Peru, and you guys know, if you've ever been to Peru, there's a large Asian demographic there. In Brazil as well, there is a large Asian population there. However, the character is played by a Latino actor, which is amazing, and Iñaki Godoy does the character justice. He is hilarious. He's really funny. Happy-go-lucky, kind of dumb at times, but he's very happy-go-lucky, very sweet, cares about his friends, and never stops to pursue his dream. And then, of course, you have Roronoa Zoro, who is played by Japanese actor. So, yes, this particular character is supposed to be Japanese. He's played by Makinyu. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I'm really sorry. But he's played by Makinyu, who is a Japanese actor. You know, he is a Japanese heritage. He was born in Japan and all that. So, of course, you have him playing the role as the greatest swordsman out there. Of course, you have two characters who are supposed to be of white European heritage, which is Nami, played by Emily Rudd, and Sanji, which according to Oda is supposed to be French. But what's interesting is here you have a Spaniard, or he's from the Canary Islands if I'm not mistaken, this particular actor, Taz Skylar, playing the role of Sanji. But he is, of course, a European, right? So a white European. And you also have, if I'm not mistaken, the actor's name Jacob Romero, who is playing Usopp. And Usopp is supposed to be, according to Oda, if he was in the real world, from Africa. So you do have, black representation up in there too. So it's really nice to see that this is supposed to be a diverse group of characters. Because I know with social media nowadays, people left and right are always attacking for movies being woke or forced representation and all that. I mean, come on. Y'all saw what happened to poor Halle Bailey in the role of Ariel for Little Mermaid. I did a whole separate video on that. I thought she was great for the role. However, in this particular case, we're focusing on One Piece here. The characters are supposed to be who they are, and even Oda himself confirmed that this is supposed to be a diverse group of characters, and he was involved in the production of this series, which I think it contributes to the success of the show, because like I mentioned before, a lot of these anime to live action adaptations have failed. They have not done well at all. So this is the first. This is the first that an anime to live action adaptation has been a success. And this is something no one has seen in years, in ever, ever. This is the first. So this is a pretty big deal. And I think Oda being involved in this contributes to that, to its success a lot. So that's why I'm, give him his flowers. Congrats to everybody who's involved in this. I enjoyed the show, like I said. Never read the manga, never watched the anime, but when Netflix started promoting the live action and started hyping it up, it caught my attention, and I did watch a couple. Actually, I watched probably. Okay, I watched say because I broke it up into pieces. I watched so far. I'm on episode 30 of the anime One Piece, season 1. I'm in so far 30 episodes in. So doing so, I'm glad I did, because doing so helped me to understand who are the 5 main characters. Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. Watching their introductions in the anime helped me to better understand who they are in the live action. And to be honest, they kept most of their, backgrounds, their origins, and their motivations pretty much the same. So, and to see those parallels of these characters from anime to live action, like again, I was never into this, but I can only imagine those who are huge fans of the anime to see those parallels, to see the actual manga and anime like legit come to life and live action format was probably, I read from some fans, it felt really nostalgic to them, that they got to see certain key moments of these characters coming to life, whether it was Luffy saying Gum Gum Pistol, or Roronoa Zoro wielding his swords, all 3 swords, right, with one in his mouth, and Sanji kicking butt with his feet. I mean, to see all of that come to life for these characters, I'm glad that the fans are happy, and I'm glad that they feel that nostalgia. Because again, like I said, when you see something in cartoon format, or even read it in a comic book or a manga, and then you get to actually see it like in full live action form, it hits you. It does hit you, and in a good way, because you're like, wow, like I get to see this with my own eyes in live action. That's how I felt when I saw the Marvel Avenger movies. You know, you see some of those pages on the comics, for example, Civil War with Captain America versus Iron Man. Iron Man doing his repulsor blasters and Captain America holding his shield in comic book format. But then when you actually get to see that come to life on the big screen, it makes you geek out. I'm not gonna lie, it does make you geek out. Or even in Endgame, you know, all the Avengers are there, and Captain America says, "Avengers assemble." You geek out. So I can only imagine again for the fans of One Piece when they see those scenes from the manga to the anime to live action format, to see all like those transitions done justice come to life on their screen. Again, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all, if y'all are fans, probably geeked out. And of course, I was not there from the get-go when this whole franchise started, but I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it, and it's nice to see that, you know, Netflix was willing to listen to the creator and Oda and take, you know, their time and respect the source material. So it's really good to see that. Again, congrats to the cast and crew on this project. This does give me hopes. I'm not gonna lie, for Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am hoping for the best of that show. I know Bright left. There was a whole big fallout regarding that. However, I think the difference between Oda with Netflix's One Piece and Bright with Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender is because then I remind myself that somehow Bright was involved in M. Night Shyamalan's live action film from 2010. And that didn't go well. And Bright was involved in that in some way, shape, or form. If you guys don't believe me, look up an interview video of Michael and Brian, you know, Bright with M. Night Shyamalan. They all three of them actually do an interview together for the terrible Avatar live action 2010 movie. Yeah, look it up. Trust me, it's on YouTube. But anyway, back to One Piece. So yeah, it was really good. Again, I don't want to go into heavy spoilers. I feel like this is something y'all need to watch. You need to watch this show. Even if you're not a fan of anime, you need to watch this live action show. My mom, we watched. So I watched most of the. I can't even say most of the anime because I know there's like 1,000 episodes. But at least I saw the first 30 episodes of season one again, just to get an introduction to the characters. And my mom saw a couple of episodes of the anime here and there, but she did not like it. She's like, "No, this is not for me. It's not my taste. It's kind of weird. It's creeping me out. It's just not for me." But she saw the live action series from Netflix and she loved it. She binge watched the whole thing. And I think because in her case, you know, of course, when it comes to cartoons, you could do so much, right? You could make things more expressive, more crazy, because it's in cartoon format. But when things are live action, you could keep some of the craziness and, you know, chaos and action stuff going on, but you're going to have it on a more grounded level. And I think that's what fit for my mom. It was more grounded for her, and that's why she loved it more. So I wonder if for new fans of One Piece, because you gotta admit, now there's new fans coming onto the One Piece train, like myself, like my mom, like my cousins. We never saw the anime before, but with the live action, we're now fans. So we're new fans, of course. But I wonder, like in such cases for these new fans, such as my mom, you know, maybe they couldn't get into the anime, but the live action they were able to because of it being grounded. You know, it probably just same source material, but just presented in a different manner, but still fun and exciting. And so yeah, it's interesting to see how that concept kind of worked. So but yeah, again, she was into the anime, but she loved the live action. So I'm glad that she's on board with this. My entire family loved it. It was so much fun. I literally cannot wait for season 2. Again, I'm not going to go into heavy spoilers. There's no need for me to go into heavy spoilers. You guys need to watch this show. It is amazing. Not perfect. It's not 100% perfect. But I would probably give it 9 out of 10 stars. It's so much fun. I love the characters. Uh, Man, if I had to pick who were my favorite characters, um, my number one would have to be Roa Nora Zoro. Even when I saw the anime before watching the live action, Zoro caught my attention like that. I mean, he is such a badass, and he wields 3 swords, and he's attractive. I mean, come on now. And then now I see it in live action form with the actor Makinyu playing Zoro, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, he's so handsome. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much eye candy. He is a handsome man. I'm sorry, Zoro, your #1 fans right here, and it's and then not only that, I gotta put a runner up. My second favorite character would have to be Sanji. Sanji has a very cool backstory, with him and Zeth. Again, I don't want to get into too much spoilers because this is something y'all need to watch. But I feel like his backstory is the most tragic, and it like really makes you think about your love for others, sacrificing all that stuff. But not only that, I mean, come on, Taz Skylar as Sanji, whew, he is so fine as well. I mean, oh my god. Okay, so here's the thing. With Sanji in the anime, I don't like him. I think he is a jerk. He is kind of a bully as well. Again, I'm only 30 episodes in, so I don't know his whole character arc with the next thousands of episodes that are to come. I don't know. So I'm probably not the best person to get my opinion on this. But my first impression of Sanji in the anime, I'm not a huge fan of. I think he's a complete jerk and a total a-hole. I'm sorry. He just is. But in the live action, whew, Taz Skylar made me fall in love with him. I'm telling you, he's not a jerk at all in the live action. I'm glad that they did not make him a jerk in the live action. I mean, yes, he gets into heated arguments with Zeth here and there, but I feel like in this one, in live action form, he's a little more sympathetic, um, and a little more compassionate as well. He's not hot tempered because in the anime I felt like he was more hot tempered versus the live action. I don't see him as hot tempered. That's just what I see firsthand. Okay, first impression here. But yeah, Taz Skylar bumped up Sanji like this. So between Makinyu as Zoro and Taz Skylar as Sanji, I mean, this show has got me simping for both of them. It's like, ooh, ooh, oh my god, too much eye candy here. And come on, like, yeah, I mean, let me know down in the comments below because I know there's a lot of rivalry, and they do show a bit of that rivalry in the show, live action. The rivalry between Zoro and Sanji, and I'm here for it. I love it. I mean, come on, it's two hot guys fighting. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, both of them were just. Whew. Yes, those two are automatically my faves in the show. In the anime, mostly only Zoro, but in the live action, uh, my heart is torn between Zoro and Sanji. Whew, ooh, Makinyu and Taz Skylar, both of them are fine as wine. So yeah, those two are easily my top faves in this show. Um, I gotta give my flowers also to the rest of the cast. Iñaki Godoy as Luffy. That's a hard character to pull off. Even in the anime, I did find Luffy, again, I'm going off of first impressions here. Luffy, okay, so Iñaki Godoy does a really good job of playing Luffy as, kind of dumb, kind of stupid, but happy-go-lucky, never gives up. He kind of has that Peter Pan essence where he doesn't really grow up. He wants to like pursue his dreams and all that stuff. So Iñaki Godoy does a really good job of playing that off with Luffy. But I feel like in the live action form, again, Luffy comes off as more compassionate, more sympathetic, more empathetic as well than in the anime. In the anime, yes, he is happy-go-lucky, crazy bonkers here and there, but I do feel like Luffy does have his jerk like moments here and there, kind of like Sanji. They both kind of come off as I'm not gonna lie, they come off as jerks sometimes, and it's really annoying. Um, and so yeah, there are some moments where they are just like I don't want to give too much away, but like between the relationship of Luffy and Kobe, I I'm only gonna give this example. I know in the anime when like in episode 4, no, I want to say it's 4, maybe. I don't know. It's one of the earlier episodes of the anime where Luffy and Kobe say their goodbyes, and to make it seem like Luffy and Kobe were not friends at all, Luffy decides to punch Kobe senselessly, which for me is like, what kind of friend is that? Like, I understand it was an act so that the Marines wouldn't catch on to them, but I'm like, really, Luffy didn't have to go all out punching Kobe senselessly. But in live action, that doesn't happen. I'm glad they took that out, and I like their goodbye at the end where Kobe tells Luffy, be a good Marine. Oh, sorry, Luffy tells Kobe be a good Marine, and Kobe tells Luffy to be a good pirate. So I like that Luffy did not beat Kobe senselessly in the live action. I'm glad they took that out because I'm sorry, Luffy did come off kind of just bratty, if that makes any sense. Just a jerk, kind of like Sanji. They both came off as jerks sometimes in the anime. Um, but yeah, and Inaki Godoy does an amazing job as Luffy. Again, he has a happy-go-lucky personality, very naive, but he won't give up on his dream. And I like that he will do anything he can to protect his crew, save his friends, and you see that a lot in this series. He does a lot for his friends. He especially with Nami at the very end, which I'm not gonna give away, but he does a lot for them. He does a lot. Jacob Romero Gibson as Usopp, very funny. I love that they finally made canon his relationship with Kaya. But that's all I'm gonna say. Because in the anime, you see Usopp and Kaya together, and you're like, are they a thing? Are they a thing? You're a thing, right? But they never go further than that in the anime. But here in the live action, they finally put a stamp of approval and made it canon between the two. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, yes, Usopp, go get your girl. But yeah, he has his funny moments as well as Luffy. I feel like when Usopp and Luffy are on screen together, because those two are like the two goofballs, the two comedic duo, I guess you could say. It's like you have Zoro and Sanji, who are the action-packed rivalry bros that are, kicking butt, and then you have uh, Usopp and Luffy being the goofballs, being dorks together. So I love it when those two are on screen because they're so dumb yet so funny. So I love their comedic chemistry together. Um, yeah, kudos to them. So kudos to Mocking You and Taz Skylar for giving off that rivalry bro action pack energy as Zoro and Sanji, and kudos to uh, Jacob Romero Gibson as Usopp, and Iñaki Godoy as Luffy for giving that comedic duo, bro kind of thing going on. I love that. I love those two dynamics. And then of course you had Emily Red as Nami. I well kind of okay. She's a cool character, but she's not like my top favorite. She kind of is at like my fifth favorite. Because there's 5 characters, she's probably like my last favorite. Only because I did find her backstory very sad. I'm not gonna lie, I did find it sad, but not. I would probably put it as second place in terms of most tragic backstory. Sanchi has the most tragic, in my opinion. Then would be Nami's. Nami's would come afterwards. So I did think it was sad about what happened to her family and what she had to do in order to free her village. Again, gotta watch it if you want to know the full details. But overall, because I felt like she kind of came off as the mother of the group, which kind of made me think of Katara in The Last Airbender. She comes off as the mother of the group, trying to keep everybody in check, trying to reason with them, which, is cool and part of her character. I have nothing wrong with that. It's just I didn't feel like, I just feel like the others had so much more going for them, like, the action and then the comedy. And I just felt like they kind of had Nami as like that mother figure of the group. Again, not a bad thing, but it's just didn't attract my attention as much as the other characters did. That's just my opinion. You guys may disagree with me, or you may agree with me. Just let me know down in the comments below. But I will say this: I'm kind of glad that in Nami's case, here in the live action, because I'm glad that yes, beautiful woman. Emily Rudd is a beautiful woman, but I'm glad that they did not, hypersexualize her. Cause come on, y'all know that in in anime or in manga or even here in the United States, when it comes to comic books or, certain cartoons, the way they draw these female characters, they draw them very curvaceous, right? And they use their uh, sex charms, so to say, to seduce men, and they have that thin waist and the big chest. Again, whether it's in anime, manga form in the East or here comic books and cartoons here in the West, you have seen it how women tend to be more are hypersexualized. I'm just gonna put it out there. But I'm kind of glad that that did not go down this route in the live action. Um, Now, before y'all call me out for being, woke, feminist, I know how some people are gonna probably interpret that. That's trying to be careful with my words here. But I'm just glad they didn't go down that route because you don't want to. I think when it comes to female characters, it's always like you don't want to go too much into making them hypersexualized, but you also don't want to go too much into having them being overpowered and being better than the man and all that stuff, because then you get into the whole anti-woke argument. You have to find a clear way to make these good characters, right? And I do feel like Nami was written really well. Again, not hypersexualized, and she was able to stand her ground alongside her male counterparts, but she also was relatable. You see her again, her flashbacks of the loss of her family, what family means to her, and even at her most vulnerable moments. So I'm glad that they were very careful, if better said. They were very careful with her character, and in a good way. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I would probably have my characters ranked in that order. I'd probably put Zoro first, Sanji, then Luffy, then Usopp, then Nami. But overall, all of them were really well done. I thought the actor for Buggy, Jeff Ward, kudos to him. He was hilarious. I loved his interpretation as Buggy. He even kind of had the voice from the anime, if I'm like that similar high pitched, crazy Joker vibe type of voice. Yeah, he did a good job, Jeff Ward as Buggy. And it's funny when you see Jeff Ward in real life, you're like man, you one attractive dude, like in your Buggy. What in the world? But anyway, yeah. So kudos to all of them. Everyone here did a really good job. I think the Vice Admiral Garp, the actor who played him did a really good job as well. He had that military-like presence about him. But yeah, again, I don't want to go into too much detail. I think this is something you guys need to watch, and I hope you do. I cannot wait for season 2. I need to see more Zoro and Sanji. I'm telling you, two handsome guys in the show. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of this. But anyways, let me know down in the comments below if you guys have seen the show yet, or if you're planning to see the show, or not. Just let me know down in the comments below and tell me, who are your favorite characters? Rank them from most favorite to least favorite, and it has to be the 5 main members. We got Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. So tell me in that order who you guys like from most favorite to least favorite. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below, like and subscribe, and as always, take care guys. Bye!